Hi, in this tutorial we're going to be creating a Next.js blog using Sanity as a CMS. We're also going to be implementing Pagination with this blog. So Pagination can be a little bit tricky, which you'll see from the video. Partway through we changed the approach for Pagination, so you might pick up on that. But without further ado, I'm going to show you the demo in a second as well. And we'll also use Shadcdn and Tailwind as a UI library as well. So I'm just going to quickly show you a brief demo of what the final product looks like. Feel free to follow along and make sure to comment if you any feedback that you might have as well. Okay, so this is the blog that we're going to be creating in our tutorial, by the end of our tutorial. So as you can see, we have a few blog post cards with a title, a description and an image. We also have some pagination. If I try to click previous, it'll prevent us from doing that. If I click next, we can get our next blog posts. We have about 5 different blog posts, and each page has about 2 different blog posts. So if I click next as well, we reach our 5th one, and it stops us from going next as well. As you can see, we've got each of our blog posts, and we can also click into the blog post as well, and we also get taken into our dynamic route where we can read our blog post. We also get the date that the blog post is created out, the title, the image, and the rich text content as well. So this is what we're going to be creating, and next we're going to jump into how to start this project, and we're going to be jumping into the tutorial side of things. Okay, so we're going to start off in terminal first, and then I'm just going to cd into our documents, and then we're going to create a new next application, and I'm just going to change the name to next sanity log. And then hit enter. And then that's going to ask us whether we want to use next 14. I'm going to hit yes. Tailwind, yes. Source directory, no. Upper router, yes. Nope, we don't want to customize default imports, and then that should be finished. I should finish installing. Once that finishes installing, head over to VS Code, and I'm just going to npm run dev just to start off the dev server, and it's going to ask me to use a certain version of Node. I'm just going to use Node version manager to use to set to that version of Node, and then just run npm run dev again. Start dev server, and then over to the browser, just going to select localhost 3000. And as you can see, our project has started up. Ignore these warnings. Okay, now I'm going to head over to our VS Code terminal, and then we're just going to add a new, we're just going to type down npx create sanity, and then use that latest command. That's just going to add sanity to our project. And we're going to click yes to proceed and wait for that to do its thing. And we're going to hit create new project, give it a name. I'm just going to call it sanity blog. Hit enter. And it's going to ask me if I want to use the default configuration. I'm going to select yes. Would I like to add the configuration for Sanity project in Next.js folder? I'm going to select yes for this one. Do I want to use TypeScript? Of course, yes. Would I like to embed Sanity Studio? Yes, I would as well. This just allows us to use it within our application. Would I like to use the Next.js app directory for routes? Yes. what route do I want to use for the studio. So for this one, I'm going to type down app. So this is going to be /app on the actual project. But you can feel free to call it studio or something else. /studio. So it's going to ask, do I want to use a template? I'm just going to use a clean project with no predefined schemas because we're going to define that ourselves. Do I want a project ID dataset in the env file? Yes, I do. And one other thing you're going to notice as well, it's generated a few files. It's generated a sanity like lib directory with the sanity client, and also like the URL for image, and we're going to see how we can use those later on in this tutorial. So we're just going to wait for that to finish installing. Also, as well, in our app directory as well, it's generated a page for our Sanity Studio as well. So like that's like just going to be whatever path that you've set it to. So ours is like /app, or if you set it to studio /studio, depending on what the base path was that you set. So I'm just going to do npm install. Okay, now that's done, I'm just going to show you how to access your Sanity Studio. Now within the sanity config.ts file, you'll see the base path. That will just be the base path that you'll access your Sanity Studio from. So mine is /app. So if I add that to the URL, I'm going to see the Sanity Studio. At first it's going to tell me that I need to add it to the cause policy, so I'm just going to add that there. Cause this will pop up, and then just hit the add cause, and then that should fix that. And then sign in using whatever provider that you've got. I'm just going to sign in using GitHub, and then you should have access to your Sanity Studio from here. And your structure is like your Sanity data structure. Okay, now it's time for us to define our Sanity schema. So within inside the Sanity directory, I'm just going to create a new file and call that schema. Actually, I'm going to create a new directory and call it schemas. And then inside of that directory, I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to call that blog.ts, and that's going to hold our blog schema. And then I'm just going to export default. And I'm just going to give that a name, and then the name will just be blog. And then give that a type as well. That'll just be type document. And the title. Just going to call that blog as well. And now it's time for us to define our fields, which is like the blog title and the blog contents and the description of the blog as well. So we're just going to define those right now. So I'm going to start off with the first one, which is the title. Give that name title, and then type, make that string, and then title, which is just what will be displayed out inside of the Sanity Studio. Just going to give my title of blog article. Okay, next field, which is going to be our slug field, and I'm going to name that slug. And type, the type here is wrong. Please note that you're going to see that being corrected later on in the video. It should be of type slug rather than string, and title is going to be slug of our blog post as well. Another thing that slugs need as well is a source as well. So I'm going to add in options, and then within there I'm going to add an object, and then inside of that, inside object, we're going to have a key called source, and we're going to make the source our title, because the slug will be derived from our title of our blog article. Yeah, I'm just going to disable that, the linting there, because it's the yellow, so we're going to go annoying. I'm just going to copy and paste the other field as well. We have title image, which is of type image, and we also have small text, which is of type text, and finally we're going to add in the content as well. I'm just going to paste that in as well. So content, and you're going to notice this type as array, and the title is just content, and this is like of type block as well. This is our rich text editor for our blog, where we can add our markdown text in our blog post. Yep. And one final thing to do is just import into our schemas so it takes effect. I'm just going to do that right now, import that blog. Okay, I just noticed that this should be slug instead of string. So if we save that now and we go over to our Sanity Studio, we can see blog article, and whatever you type in there, you just click generate, you can see it generates a slug from that blog article. Now I just had ChatGPT write some sample blog posts, and we're just going to do a few of them just for like later on pagination. So if I just copy those in, oops, and just keep generate, small description, just copy that. And then for like a blog image, I'm just going to use DALL-E 2. Feel free for you to find like wherever you can create images, whether that's Pixabay or any other websites. So okay, so now as you can see, we've created about 5 different blog posts. So we're just going to start with the Grok query language. I'm just going to show you how we can query these and order them by descending order, so we get the newest blog post first, and how to do pagination. So for the pagination, we're just going to show 2 blog posts at a time. So let's first start with our query. So to query within Sanity, we're just going to select everything, and then we're just going to select everything within the blog. So we're just going to say underscore type, and then we're going to say is equal to blog. So that should give us everything within the blog. So as you can see, we get like a bunch of different properties that we really don't need. So just to narrow down the properties that we do need, we're just going to query that. So we're just going to add in the properties that we want. We want underscore ID, we want title, we want small description, we want the created at date as well, and we also want the current slug as well. So just add some quotation marks, current slug, and then that's going to be slug.current, and then finally we want the title image. Okay, now hit fetch, and as you can see we get like a more slimmed down properties for each of the blog posts. Okay, so in order to do the descending order, so we get the newest blog post first. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is order. So I'm just going to go over to this craft cheat sheet. So in this, I'm just going to click ordering, and the way that we want to order is, well, we have the newest blog post first. So for that, we're just going to order by so newest document. Just going to order by creating that descending. Just copy that down. Go over to our Sanity Studio, paste that in, fetch, type blog, created that descending. Oh, I think it's because of the parentheses instead of the square brackets. So yep, as you can see now, all our blog posts are being ordered by creating that date. So the next thing we're going to talk about is pagination. Now for this bit, I had to sort of change approach midway through filming because I was going to go for this other approach, the filtering approach, but the problem with it is that you need to order by ID, and since we're not ordering by ID, it makes it tricky. Like we can't really use this because we're ordering by created at date. And also another thing, even if we were using ordered by ID, using the ID to paginate, to go backward and forwards, you could go forwards, but going backwards would be tricky. Like going to the previous page that you were on would be tricky using this method, because you don't really know exactly like what page you're on and everything. So for that reason, I've chosen to use this the less efficient approach, which is array slicing. Purely because you can easily know which was the previous page, and if you were to go back and backwards and forwards, it'd be simpler. So you might later on, when we get down to the actual coding bit, you might see a change, what appears to be like a change in approach. That's because halfway through filming this, I changed it, and I'm just giving you a heads up right now. So in order to do the pagination, I'm just going to extend this query tool here. We're just going to add in these square brackets. So we want to have two results for each page. So when we paginate, so we're just going to do 0 and then triple dot, and then that should give us and then 2. That should give us our first 2 results. And then once we do that, we can see that we get the first 2 results. And then to get the next 2 results, it's quite simple: 2 and then 4, and then fetch that. And to get the next set of results, 4 to 6, and we should only see 1 result here because we have 5 blog posts in total, and as you can see, we only get 1. So what makes this approach easier is, let's say we were to go back, writing the logic out for this is much simpler. So if we were to go back, we just change this to 4 and then this to 2, and as you can see, it's much easier to go backwards and forwards, whereas with the other approach, it's a lot more tricky, even if you do order by ID, to figure out which IDs are the previous ones. So that's why we've gone with this approach. Okay, so now back in VS Studio, we're in order to write our grok queries, we're going to want an extension. So just type in sanity.io to use the extension. So install. So this is just going to allow us to have some code highlighting for our grok queries. So we just install that, and then that's wonderful. Now we've got it installed, and if we go over to our page, we're just going to remove all of this default Next.js stuff, and then we're going to write our query to get our post. So get posts and don't forget this is the async function as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to write is we're going to have our query and copy it over from the query that we just created. So just query, and then let's go equal to grok. I'm just going to import grok. And then we're just going to copy over the query that we had here. That's wonderful. And then we're going to do client dot fetch, and we're going to pass it our query, and we need one more thing as well, which is the ID, the last ID. So I'm just going to make that an optional parameter, and then it's just of type string, and if it's not defined, it's just going to be an empty string. So, and then go to the definition of fetch. It allows us to pass in like our query parameters. So these are the parameters that we were using here. So I'm just gonna add that in for our last ID, and then we're just gonna make it last ID, or we can just do a shorthand. Remove the question mark, and then I think we've done enough to get our posts. So if we use it down here, const posts. One other thing you're going to need to do as well is make this function async. So async and then get posts. I'm going to leave it empty for now, and then I just console log to see if we get all posts back. Okay, hit save, and then refresh our application. Oh yeah, I forgot to add a wait here. So just save and refresh. Okay. Seems to be undefined for some reason. Let's change this to just grok like that, and then remove that. still getting undefined. Oh, yeah, that's because we're not returning anything. Yep, and as you can see, we're getting our 2 blog posts back. That's because we're saying each page to only give us back 2 results. So this could be changed here as well, depending on how many pages you want to show for each result. So if I was to change this to 4, you can see you get 4 blog posts per page. But for like our purpose, we're just going to leave it as 2. So that's the first bit done. We're able to at least get our all our blog posts. Okay, now we're just going to work on the UI. We're just going to remove also this default styling added when you create the next app as well. That's done. Okay, and also as well, we're going to want to get Shadcdn and install that as well. So head over to the Shadcdn website and then go over to installation, Next.js, and then just copy this. And then I'm just going to select default, slate, yes, for CSS variables, and then just wait for that to install. And whilst that's installing, I'm just going to create a new components directory. So in our components, we're going to have our blog posts. So I'm just going to name this post card, and then create a component postcard. And for this component, we're just going to make it the card component, use the card component for Shadcdn. Just copy this over. We're just going to paste that in. I'm just going to add in the imports as well. Oh yeah, I forgot as well, you need to also install the card as well. Yep. Now these red squiggly lines should go away. And then we're just going to add in our props. So first prop is title. We're also going to have a description. And then we're just going to have an image for the blog post as well. And the title will go here. Our description will go here. And for our card content, this will be an image. Just going to use next image for the image. Should be image. Then import image. Next image. And then it just wants the height, set that to 500. And a width, just going to set that to 500 and alt, leave that empty for now. and just going to add our types, prop types as well. And then title, it's going to be string, description, it's also going to be string, and then finally image, which is also going to be string. Okay, and then I'm just going to remove the footer as well because we don't really need that. Okay, so now postcards are ready. So here we're just going to do posts, and I'm just going to map over these. I think as well we're going to need to create a type for these as well, just so we can tell TypeScript what type it is. So I'm just going to add another folder, call it types, and then we're just going to have one for posts. So I'm just going to have one for post. So export interface. Just going to name this post list. And then for that, I'm just probably go over to our Sanity Studio. Where is it? Just copy these over so we can just make it easier for ourselves. And this is going to be string as well. String. And then this one is going to do type any because I'll show you later why. Save that, and then copy this over, and so now we can finally give this a type, so we can get some auto completion for it. Just import it there. Okay, now see we get some nice auto completion for that. So post, and then we're just going to use the postcard. Okay, so title is going to be post dot title, and then description is going to be post dot small description, and then image is going to be, so for next, not for next, but for Sanity images, in order to create an image URL, we have to use this function that was auto-generated. So we're just going to add this, import this, and then import, and then we need to pass that into our post dot title image, and then also we need a key as well. So key will be post dot underscore ID, and yep, that's done. So if we go over to our localhost now, we just need to configure the next image. So copy this, go over to the next config file, and then paste that in, and then we want to change the host name to sanity.io, and then paths, we'll just make it all paths. Save that, and then just refresh. And yep, now we get some nice blog posts. Okay, so I've realized that there is like a bit of an issue with the approach that we've taken to filtering, and one of the issues is that we're not really ordering by ID, we're ordering by created at date. So this is really not going to work, and I've tried other approaches and they didn't really work out. So even though I said that doing pagination through this is like inefficient by changing these ones, like changing this from 2 to 4 for the next page and 4 to 6 for the next page is inefficient. We're going to take that other approach because that allows us to continue ordering by created at date. So I'm just going to remove this, and then we're going to rename this as not as last ID but as last page num, and yes, we're going to leave that as like a string. Actually, we're going to change this to like a number rather than a string. Let's change this to a number, and by default it'll be 0. So I'm just going to add this here. And then here it'll just be +2, or plus how many of pages you want to show. So last page num, because we're showing 2 pages, 2 results per page, we're just going to make this 2. Alright, that should be fine. And if I go to my local host, yeah, that everything's working as it should. So we're just going to add like a pagination section component. And inside this pagination section component, we're just going to get pagination from Shadcdn. So go over to Shadcdn and just copy over all the imports. Okay, so let's implement next to the previous page. For this, I've just copied this from here, and I've removed like bits like these bits and just like adapted these bits and removed like this as well. So for this one, okay, so let's implement these const next page. So for next page, what we want to do is we want to keep a state of the current. We want to keep a state of the current page that we're on. Num, and then I'm going to do set page num. I'm going to do use state and then by default I'm going to start from 0. Okay, and then because we're using state, we're going to make this a client component. Okay, and then so set page null. It's going to be page previous page it's going to be the previous page number plus 1. And then we need to set that in our header, so we need to set that in our router forms. Just add this and add this. And also we need search forms as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to params dot set, and then we'll do page, and then we're just going to do I'm just going to do 2 string for that, so we're going to do page num, do this like that, 2 string, and we'll do something similar for the previous page as well. The only difference being here, we're going to be going back a page. Okay, and then finally, after we do that, we want to replace the URL from path names. So let's go back here. Oh yeah, we also need to import that as well. Just to make this look nice as well, I'm just going to narrow this down a bit. So I'm going to add like some width. Just wrap this around the div. Class name. Yep, I'll just make it a bit larger. that looks much better. Okay, and then underneath we're going to add our component. Okay, so if I click here, I should be able to see page 2. Actually, yep, it starts from page 0, page 1, and the page plus 1. Yep, that's working as we're expecting, as you can see. Okay. Let's just test the previous page as well. So I go previous. And here as well, I think we're going to need to just do -1 there as well. So now we go. Yeah, that works as expected. And here we can just do page none. And I don't want that to be 0, so we'll just do +1. Just move that down here. So if it's 0, then we're just going to do page 1 + 1. So the reason I'm doing this is if it's 0, I'm going to add 1, and if it's not, then show the actual page number. Okay, so page 3, page 4, yeah. Okay, so if we go back over here, you want to pass in the page number into here, and it's going to be 2 per page. So we're going to change this to be 2 to okay. So we go back to here. Okay, so next what we want to do is we want to get the search parameters that we've added, the query parameters, and we want to pass that into this get post function. So let's just see how we can do that. Yeah, so we just have it like this. Make sure I copy it properly. Right, so we just have page. And then I'm going to say const page, and then it's going to be equal to search parameters, and then let's say page. I'm going to convert to a number, so we'll just do like that, and then pass it in here, like that. Okay, let's just console log it first before passing in, just to make sure we're getting the right value. Page norm. We're getting not a number. Oh, because we don't have anything to begin with. So we're just going to say we have start page. I'm just going to do 0. If this is undefined, and we're just going to pass it like that. So that should start us off from 0, as you can see. Okay. So 2, 4. So it's just not really changing the results though. So page number. Oh yeah, I think it's because we're not passing in. Page number. Okay, let's start over again. save this. So I'm going to press next. Should see the same results. Okay, I should see the next one. Next. Yep. And we don't have any more. And refresh previous. Yep, so this is sort of working. Okay, so we're going to add in some logic to prevent you from going to negative numbers as well. So in here, if page num is less than 0, return. Oh, we could also disable this as well. So we'll disable attribute. So to move this up, we're going to do it if page num is less than 1, and just return. Yep, so as you can see now, it doesn't go back to negative numbers, and it still functions the way we expect it to work. Okay, so next we're going to do something to prevent you from going beyond the number of pages there is for the pagination. So inside of, where is it? So here, like this is how to find like the total number of documents. So we're just gonna copy that. Gonna add another one to const get total post and do async. And for this, we're just going to create a query, const query plus backslash, and then I'll just name log. Just going to remove these console logs because they're getting a bit untidy at the moment. Just going to say const. No. And I'm just going to say await with total. So I'm just going to console it just to make sure we get the right thing back and we get back what we expect. Post. Let's see what that gives us. Undefined. Great. Oh yeah. Return client dot fetch. And I'm just going to send the query. Yep, and then as you can see, we get 5 So that's great. We can pass this now into our component. So max page and then I do max page here, some number, so we're just going to do here if. So to prevent us from keep going until we've got no more pages left, like we can at the moment, I'm just going to add an if statement just to check that our current page number is not greater than, is less than the max page. And if that's the case, then just return and then we're just going to pass that through here as well. Max page, and that'll just be post. No. Save that. Test it out. I think there might be a mistake in the logic. Okay, it's not great. Okay, so next, and okay. Just do next. Okay, so our total five. So this one is, so our total page number is 5. Just console log our page now. So at the moment, it lets us get just slightly above it, but we're still not supposed to reach that far. Page number 0. Page number 2. And then it's 4. Let's do page 1 plus 2. Should fix it. Next. And then it should prevent us from way above that. Okay, brilliant. So now we've got pagination. True, this console log. And this one. Okay, now that we've added the pagination and finished with that, we can now move on to making these blog posts clickable and just work in the blog post view. So if we go to our post guide, we're just going to add like some like navigation just to make these clickable, so they can take us to our blog post. So I'm just going to add in a link, next link, and I'm just going to move all of this up. And then for the source, so for the href, we're just going to do /log / actually, let's make these string literals. Just change that. And then I'm just going to make this I'm going to also need to pass in the slug as well. So slug, oops, string, slug, slug, and then host dot. Okay, I think it is front slug. I'm just going to use that here as well. Save all. Yep, and that works. Just that we just need to create the pages for each of them. So to do that in the app directory, we're just going to add a new directory, blog, and in there just going to add in our dynamic path, and then add in another page.tsx. So and then I'm just going to do this post, and I'm just going to add like a h1 hello, just to see that it's been rendered out. Yep, and that does work. It's brilliant. Okay, now we need to get our blog post. Okay, so now let's fetch our blog post. So const get post. Async. I also want to pass in the slug string, and then we'll create our query. Okay, so we want to say underscore type log and slug one parameter, and the properties that we're going to get from here are kind of similar to the properties from previous. Only difference is we want to get a few more properties than these. We also want to get the content as well. Okay, content as well. Okay, that's wonderful. And now we need to get the slug from the params as well. String and then do const and just destructure that slug. I'm just going to say params. So, oh, okay, I think. It's like this. And then just console log just to see if we're actually getting our slug. Yep, we're actually getting the slug. It's wonderful. So forget to return. Client dot fetch and query, and then here we're just going to get post. Post. Should I gotta wait for that? And console log post. And we're not getting anything back for some reason. Okay, we are passing the slug. Oh, that'll be right. Okay, we're still not getting anything back. Oh, okay, this should also be dot current. Slug dot current. Okay. I still not anything back. ID type log slug.current. Slug. So I'll slug again. Yeah, we're getting the slug back. Okay, slug. Okay, so let's try it. And then for the slug, we're just gonna okay, that does work. So for this one, I'm just going to make it like a variable. Slug. And then here, I'm going to say slug. Yep, and yeah, what do you know? We get everything back. Okay. It's time to display our blog post. Let's just give this a type first. Inside of types post, we've also got export interface post, and it's similar to this. Only difference being here is that we've got content as well. And for the content, I'm just going to do any because it's type. Okay. Okay, so just look nice now. Class name. I'm going to do container. And then MX auto. I'm just going to do div. Then height screen. It should make it fit all into the screen. Take up the maximum amount of height. And then another div. Rounded, medium, shadow, medium, flex, items, center. And then one div. And then class name, just going to add MD max is to Excel. I'm just going to do MX auto. And then one final div, class name py8 and px4, and then date format. I'm just going to time and then date time post dot. Actually, we need to give this a type as well. Post. Okay, so just destructuring it as it'll be like the first item in the array, so that's why I've made it like that. And then this post is not really important here. Okay, so now we should get multiplication. Let's create that. Save that. I'm just going to add date FNS as well, just to show this date. Just going to install it. Once it's finished installing, I'm just going to put post dot create that in there. I'll do put from data first. Fail to compile. Solve data for this. great. Let's go. Yeah, then now this other heading, H1, first name, leading, 10, font, extra bold, text, for Excel, and text, zinc. 900 body bottom for and just make that post dot title. Yep, that looks good. The next image, source, just gonna use the same image URL for image we used last time. I'm just gonna pass in post dot title image. Alt, anti, height, 500, width, 500. Image from next image. Didn't seem to be working too well. Yep. And I'm just going to give it class name, height, 100% and width, 100%, and then object contain. Now we've done that, we're just going to add our blog post content. So for this, we're going to need something called portable text. So I'll just do a div, and then I'm going to do class name, and the first thing we're going to need to do is Tailwind pros. Typography. So yeah, we're just going to be using the pros. So just put pros there, and then pros Excel. Then we're going to need another portable text. So this will just like render out our content, our rich text content. So we just need to install it. once we've installed it, just going to use it portable text. And it takes in value, and that'll just be post content. Of the import, and as you can see, it's rendering out our blog post content. Now, I think one other thing is that the reason why it's not showing too well is that we need to do something else with Tailwind. So Tailwind typography. So we need this typography plugin. So in order to get hold of it, we need to add it in our plugins array. So where is Tailwind config? Okay. Google this error. Okay, let me just restart my server. Oh yeah, I think we also need to install this as well. Let's find the tail. Yep, just needed to be restarted, and yep, as you can see, right now it's looking much better. Okay, so now that we've done that, just to finish off, we're just going to add like a bit of like hover colour, like whenever you're hovering over any of the blog posts. So if we go over to our components, postcard, just going to add in class name and make that hover, and it's going to give us that nice colour once we hover over it. So I think that's pretty much that done. As you can see, we've implemented pagination, we've made the blog posts like go like page, and yes, that's everything. Now, if you enjoyed that and got value out of this, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.